today, much like our previous Ghost and Monsters episode, I've selected some tales from everyone here's home state, except for Brandie. That's the thing. We did the Killer Goat Man, so at the Goat Bridge, but I did find some stuff for everybody, including I got a brand new book, Weird California, which is just a whole book of nonsense.
How is it not a series of volumes?
I know, right?
When it opens, does California Gold Guy, does
Huell
Hauser just pop out? Oh!
Wow, that is weird. That's a dog eating an avocado.
Wow!
UFOs under the mountain.
And of course, I'll also be pulling from my favorite book from when I was a child, Ghosts and Goosebumps, Ghost Stories, Tall Tales, Superstitions from Alabama, which I absolutely love. And then our friend of ours on Patreon actually sent us a Virginia. Brian Marshall on Patreon sent me Virginia folk tales, Rick. So I've got material for everything. And then, of course, for Ohio, I went straight to my favorite source, which is the GeoCities-esque website Shadowlands, which we talked about on the previous one, and everyone listening should go to shadowlands.com. It is web 1 point nothing.
Green text.
Yeah, Well, the funniest thing is, and the Ohio one has an inordinate amount of just the ghost section is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Ohio is a much more haunted place than you would necessarily think. There are books, plural, like in the double digits, that have been written about ghosts and haunted locations in Ohio. I did some research before I came over today too, so I got some stuff.
Perfect.
And then we've got our very own cryptid.
I watched Poltergeist this morning.
We've got our own cryptid, and we're adjacent to the Mothman.
Yes, just across the river from the Mothman. Yep. That's perfect. Yeah, you've got several of your own cryptids.
We do have several cryptids. We have one that is very well known, though.
Are you a cryptid? You have to tell us if you're
Is it you? It's
Science has neither confirmed nor denied my existence, so technically, yes.
But yeah, I guess that. We'll start with the Buckeye State of Ohio. So let's go into the cryptid thing first.
Sure.
Because I'm curious to see what you think is your very distinctive cryptid. Because in my opinion, I have my thoughts on the situation.
First, what we think the Ohio cryptid is.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to recuse myself because I've narrowed it down to two.
That's fair. I think I know what the second one you might be thinking.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on this show before because it's hilarious. I'll just say it. It's y'all's Bigfoot, the Ohio Grassman.
Oh, nope. Not even in my top two.
Perfect. I just think that's the funniest shit because it does just sound like a guy who sells weed out of his trailer in Columbus.
Or just a guy in a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. But he's basically just a slightly smaller Bigfoot, I think, is kind of the thing. And he has kind of sloth-like moss and kind of greenery.
Kind of swamp thingy.
Yeah, he's like kind of a swamp thing Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite. But I assume you're talking about, well, actually, yeah, let's...
I was imagining it would be like a Cleveland-based cryptid who... rides a fixed gear bike out of the lake, but he's just a bunch of sludge and old car parts, and in a denim vest, of course, with a bunch of patches of.
He's the ghost of a guy who died on Balloon Day.
Yeah, have you heard the new Branston LP or whatever? Hawthorne Heights has a new record coming out. We all got to get down to the sock hop.
I think it's from the bowels of a fracking site. Literally Mimi from Drew Carey show came from the earth, and she is a cryptid, and she just a slime of blue eyeshadow follows her wherever she goes.
It's a good guess.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say a sentient voodoo doll made of Marlboro 100 lights.
Oh, there we go.
Because I have family from Ohio, and they fucks with those cigarettes hard.
Yeah, well, hey,
it also has sun damage for some reason. The most sun damage you've ever seen. Like they just haven't had sunscreen in
Ohio ever.
Oh, I thought you meant the cigarettes. I was like,
No,
what? Because they're sitting in the window.
It's a sentient cigarette person with sun damage.
That's what the light and lights is.
Yes.
The simulated sun damage.
Yes.
But
if you haven't slept in a Marlboro sleeping bag, are you even from the Midwest?
It's true.
Thank you.
It's true. Got to get the miles, the Marlboro miles.
Yeah. In
that's
California,
Ohio's currency.
Yeah, California's camel country. Thank you very much.
But I assume, and this is going to be hilarious if this isn't right, I assume you're talking about the Loveland Frog.
Of course, yes. The Loveland Frog Man is the big one, and then probably a close second are the melonheads.
Yes. Okay, so let's do one at a time. Tell people about the Loveland Frog, Ohio's.
So the Loveland Frog Man, I believe, dates back to the 70s, around there. And the story is that an off-duty cop saw some kind of short, like smooth, slimy humanoid down by a creek or a river just off the highway, and described it as just a frogman.
Yeah,
like a 4-foot something humanoid frog.
Question. You just described Joe Rogan. So are you sure? Can you confirm if it was Joe Rogan or not?
Joe Rogan, if Joe Rogan's anything, he's definitely a melonhead.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
you didn't even hear about the melonheads yet. Yeah.
Fucking leader of the melonheads.
That's amazing.
And then there were a handful of unconfirmed sightings, and then later another off-duty officer found what was a stray, like 3 to 4 foot iguana that was missing its tail, that had been somehow confused. A lot of the speculation is that the cop who filed the initial report was probably drunk.
Well,
he was off duty.
Yeah.
And he was a cop.
Also that.
Blue Lives Matter.
I already hit my whole family. What am I supposed to do now? Drink.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of this little slippery frog, man. As soon as I can grasp him.
But it's down in Hamilton County, down southeastern Ohio near Cincinnati, around the Loveland Castle area. 'Cause I don't know what it is. Ohio has way more castles than you would ever assume. Ohio.
Wait, what?
Ohio, not like.
Like not like Hearst Castle, not like weird billionaire enclaves like we have here.
They're
sort of
in that vein, but they're modeled more after old timey castles.
Sure.
I'm just going to say we need a different word for castles in America. America is not old enough to have castles.
Yeah.
We have piles of bricks that are 100 years old.
I was going to say that weird people make out of whatever.
Has never charged taxes from the man of
true.
the house, then it's not a castle.
Exactly.
It's just not. The Hearst Castle is a Hearst hoarding.
It's a
yeah.
It's a swap meet.
They all have a room you could keep someone locked in as a feature. It's a castle.
Hey.
So what do you mean?
Wealth has old games that don't change.
What do you mean by like castles exactly, like that you're describing?
They're not as grand in size or spectacle as like King Arthur's castle or anything.
Well, sure,
but they're more contemporary buildings that are modeled after. They have parapets.
Oh, okay.
And little steamed hamburgers.
We got plenty of those too. But no drawbridges, at least not at any of them that I've seen.
Okay.
Which should be a defining feature of a castle.
Do they have insulation?
I've only ever been in one. Because somebody decided in December in Ohio it was a good idea to have an outdoor wedding at one. And all I wore was like my cowboy getup, like denim head to toe, my cowboy hat and a leather vest, not realizing that the wedding was outdoors because who the fuck would have an outdoor wedding in the middle of winter?
I went to an outdoor wedding in Golden Gate Park on December 15th, and I wish them a healthy and contemptuous divorce every day since. I was furious.
We're getting married in the hedge maze from The Shining.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Fuck you. Too cold.
Yeah, shit. At Golden Gate Park, did they give everyone kites to fly?
No, but they ran out of place. We had to take a party bus there. Which was weird with an auntie. You know what I mean? It was very weird. Anyway.
Was it the one with the stripper poles?
Yeah. Yeah. The
dude.
black lights and everything.
We kind of get one of those for a funeral procession.
Oh,
but
do
make
that.
the guy turn all the stuff on and everyone's in there like kind of bummed out, you know?
Please make that.
And
Yes.
there's like the disco lights and then there's, at least one 19-year-old who's like, I kind of want to get on that pole. I don't care how terrible
Yes. Everyone gets on LegalZoom and starts making arrangements.
Yes, I was going to say, everyone, you have my permission to do that.
Yeah,
If I die first,
Yeah.
please.
You've been in one of these almost castles.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
And
fine. I don't feel the need to get married. Fortunately, we moved indoors for the reception, which was a nice change of pace from freezing my ass.
Was that supposedly like haunted castle, or was that just a
No, this is just a regular
old...
castle. The Loveland Castle is
Was it
not
even
particularly
haunted?
either. It's just in the vicinity where the Loveland Frogman was
Gotcha.
sighted, quote unquote.
Right. And I saw the recent update on that was somebody had a supposed YouTube video of it. It is pitch black. You can't, it's literally just like the sound of some splashing and a guy going, "Look at a frog. Oh, look at," and then it kind of cuts off.
No, I stood next to a koi pond after dark once, and I thought the Loveland Frogman was in there. Like, your brain makes up all kinds of scary shit when you can't see what it is.
Yeah, of course. This is just a couple other ones I pulled again off of the amazing Shadowlands. The funniest thing with the Ohio one I noticed is because the last time when Sam was here, we read a bunch of them from Texas, and there were a lot of them that were like random like bars and restaurants that supposedly had ghosts named like Gary and shit like that, which were funny, but the Ohio one, so people will write this stuff, and then in yellow, somebody will come along with like corrections and stuff. Like the Texas ones,
that person.
Lies were just flying, and this one it's like, no, nobody actually died there. Fucking be serious, okay?
So what are the Ohio ghost stories that they gave there?
Okay, so this one is from Amelia, Ohio. A car full of teenagers going at 100 to 150 miles per hour, then stroke a car.
This is a math joke. I don't like
I know,
it.
right?
It's a math problem.
They stroke a car?
I think they meant struck, but it does say stroke a
Did
car.
the car come?
Apparently, because the other car was also full of teenagers. One guy named Rick survived.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's what, and no one liked him.
But then the weird thing is
That's
it
how
says...
it goes.
It says one survived. Oh, okay. There's no punctuation in any of this. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Sorry. One guy survived. A guy named Rick, the story says, he has no head. So Rick didn't survive. I guess just one person survived. Rick has no head.
Oh.
And cars have went by and saw the man. They say he has killed more than 100 people as he walks by with his thumbs up.
A headless man with his thumbs up
Just
kills 100 people.
And one likes to assume he's,
That's so
doing
Midwestern.
the monkey.
Yeah, does it even say what part of Ohio this is?
Amelia, Ohio.
Amelia.
That sounds like
Ohio.
lies.
Yeah,
I know where Elyria, Ohio is.
Why do people see so many ghosts where there's nothing else to do?
but the
There's no
funniest
ghost stories in Vegas. No one's ever seen a ghost in Vegas.
It's because they're all with the slot machines.
it's too fucking loud.
I've seen
You know?
shells of people, but not quite the
that's
ghost.
so
spirit's
generic
gone.
too. Like there's not a whole lot of like we've got a similar urban legend from my hometown with a collapsed bridge where some teens allegedly fell to their death in their car when they crossed the bridge.
There were so many of those on the site.
If you go there and turn your lights off for like longer than 30 seconds, they'll come after you or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I saw somewhere the exact same story, but if you cut your car off and put it in neutral, they'll like push you off the bridge or something.
Yeah, there's something like that about train tracks. There's another similar one from my hometown. There's a place called Salem House where you go if you turn your car off, the ghost will try to get into your car or some shit.
Yeah, New Jersey has a bridge that teens died under, and then if you turn your lights off, they throw a penny into your car. So.
Oh shit, that rules.
I'm gonna go to Jersey and get fucking rich.
Yeah. I'll park
More
there forever.
teens need to die in cars. It's not happening anymore.
That's why I didn't get my driver's license until I was in my 20s.
These Gen Z kids, they're not interested in driving because everything's online. We're running out of bridge ghosts. Get driving, young people, and get drunk and reckless. Make a lot of really bad choices. Do you want to be an urban legend, or you just want to be some kid on Fortnite or whatever the youth are up to? I don't know.
The update that they add in yellow, it says only one guy survived. Since that day, the intersection has been haunted by a faceless hitchhiker who the survivor has personally seen at least 5 times. So the guy who survived the crash keeps seeing, I guess, his friend who has no face now.
Rick with no face?
Yeah, and then it says the ghost is
Stop going
described
there.
as a shadowy figure in 3 dimensions, which I'm like, I think everything's in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, it's not Paper Mario.
Yeah,
Ghost.
it's cell-shaded fucking ghosts. And then this is my favorite. Psychics with no knowledge of the site have described it as very evil. And sometimes a driverless Impala and a ghostly green Roadrunner have been seen in the area as well. So there's like ghost hot rods. It's like a social distortion fucking show.
Question, are there Roadrunners in Ohio?
The car. I think they mean the Pontiac Roadrunner.
Yeah, we only
I
got
thought they
pheasants in Ohio.
Or Buick Roadrunner.
Throw in a Roadrunner in the last sentence of that story. I thought we were focusing on like a man with no head with thumbs up. Like we had a headless Fonzie, and now we got a Roadrunner.
Yeah, well, no,
For
now
the women listening, Roadrunner was a kind of car that your dad probably finger blasted your mom in after prom, and then she said, "Yeah, I guess I could settle for this." And then he made a bunch of welders' babies.
Oh, thank you, Rick, for explaining man things to us.
I did think that it was like a bird.
a green Roadrunner. I mean, that would be
also a bird. I was like, well, you can't just throw in a ghost bird out of nowhere at the end of the story.
Ghost bird would be tight.
It's like if we're telling a story about football and he says pads, I know he means in the uniform. But if you're talking about being in the ladies' restroom at a place where ladies would all go to the restroom and you say pads, I know you mean one of those things for your horrible menstruations.
Don't talk like shadow banned the website like any sort of sense whatsoever. The logic, the thunderstroke was already said in there.
Brandie, this is Shadowlands. They haven't been shadow banned yet, but if the government keeps canceling people, they're going to cut off my pipeline to ghost stuff.
Hey, I want to hear what more of these jabronis have to get wrong about my shitty home state.
No more Roadrunner erasure. It was a real car.
It's a great car.
All of them were eaten by the gremlins.
I love this one. Cedar Point, Ohio. This is
Cedar Point's not fucking haunted.
the amusement park, sir. Listen, the carousel in the park is an old one with hand-carved horses. Legend has it that the man who carved the horses for the carousel caught his wife cheating on him with a jockey from the local horse track. He shot and killed them both, and there is a black horse on the carousel with bones carved into his mane, and an image of the jockey is carved into the saddle. And then the update, and the employees have reported hearing the music of the carousel at night while it spins backwards. Ooh. But then the update from November 2003, so right up to date. The carousel did not originate in Ohio. It is actually from Michigan.
Where a jockey was killed.
Near Lake Lansing, and this is my favorite. The locals there believe that Al Capone used to torture people on the carousel and then dump their bodies in the lake. And I'm like,
busy was Al Capone? I lived in Wisconsin for a while, and they're like, he was up here, he was everywhere. Everyone's got Al Capone used to do my grandma's taxes and then kill guys in the cellar.
Also, define how would one torture someone with a carousel? I mean, besides just the act of putting them on the carousel where they couldn't leave.
Have them sell tickets at it at a mall.
Become a barker.
Have you heard the music?
That's what I mean.
As
That's
loud
the
as
only
possible.
Yeah.
The rest of your life gets stuck in your head forever.
Make a rehab tech write it 3 times so all of the kids get a turn, but all are attended.
Yeah. It's like a Noriega situation. They try to break them, except instead of Van Halen, it's.
Yeah, why does the carousel play like the Doobie Brothers?
Yeah, man, I'd stay out of carousel forever, just fucking Panama over and over.
Yeah.
But it's specifically that part.
You
where
should run Nicaragua.
Specifically, David Lee Roth's like, my dick's the gear shift now.
But instead of horses, it's just seahorses and dolphins and shit. And a shark? Yes.
I'm running a little hot tonight.
Yeah. You run a little hot forever.
Reach down between my legs, spin the teacup.
Oh my God.
I'm Al Capone.
What else does this site got to say about
Cincinnati, Ohio? And I love this. I'm going to wait till the end to tell you where this happens.
All right.
So people have said they have seen a man in a cowboy uniform walking around at night after this place is closed. He is said to be looking for his lost love,
Arby's,
and his arm that was lost in a cattle drive. Close, Rick. It's at the Texas Roadhouse restaurant.
The ghost slipped on the peanuts and died. And his ghost had a ghost.
I was like, is this a cowboy from 1997?
Yeah, that's just a divorced dad.
I don't think Ohio has ever had any cattle drive, ghostly or otherwise.
No.
A ghost named Rick in Ohio.
I buy that, actually.
Like,
Walk through that wall to beat my stepchildren.
These dipshits on Shadowland know, like, Ohio has a haunted asylum and a haunted prison.
Yeah.
This is the shit they're
the Texas
about?
Roadhouse, which if it's not within a rock's throw of an interstate, I'll be shocked. Like, how old could this possibly be?
Oh, yeah, no, every Texas
off
Roadhouse is off the interstate.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's a Love's across the street from it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love a Love's. Oh,
I bought a pretty cool
24/7.
cowboy
Take
hat
a
for
shower.
$10 at a Love's.
We've got, this is from Fairfield Middle School. So at the middle school, it is said that there is a little boy that was about 12, and he got in trouble with the principal and was scared of his parents. So right after school, in the 200 wing, by the Spanish room, he had a broken mirror that is in the bathroom and had killed himself. The next day...
Wait, is this how this is written?
This is literally how this is written. This is a great
How drunk
website.
you have to be to get on this.
I mean, I don't know. You got to be all amped up on Alaninu witch's brew. So the next day, they had found him in one of the stalls, cut up, but they don't know if he really did it himself or someone else did it because he was cut up in like 5 pieces.
Wait, dismembered?
Like he apparently broke a mirror and was able to, section himself like William Wallace at the end of Braveheart.
Yeah, you know how you draw and quarter yourself.
He drew and quartered himself in a
Yeah.
middle school
Yeah,
bathroom.
after a guy removes his arm, he's like, well, I got to do the leg, too. And
Yeah,
then
just-
keep going.
Disgruntled. That's just a disgruntled janitor. That kid probably sucked.
Like, I love the idea that he was afraid of his parents, so he just cut himself into 5 pieces.
pieces.
Instead.
Yeah.
Run
Oh, I
away
got-
and change your name.
I got a
Yeah.
C in
Coward.
spelling.
Yeah, or kill
Yeah.
your parents like a normal person. Jesus.
Yeah.
Great point.
What
your
if it
parents.
was
Become
his
a hero.
parents?
I don't know, but now if you go in there, you can see bloodstains on the bathroom stall. And sometimes if you're in there alone, maybe you should get out because he's looking for the principal that made this horrible thing that had happened.
It is the disgruntled janitor. He's just like, I'm also not cleaning it up.
It's like,
Hey.
it's not that the...
This is not covered by the union.
Yeah. Also, the principal, it's, it's not his fault that you got bad grades and then drove and quartered yourself in the bathroom. It's
Good
just
morning,
not.
students. We're putting a new press box in the football stadium, but we're going to leave the bloody murder decapitation stall in the Spanish hallway 200 wing bathroom.
Study hard.
There's a bake sale for a new mirror going on Tuesday.
Today is Fiestada Day, and we know that's everyone's favorite, so you're only allowed one.
If anyone's going to cut themselves into 5 pieces, please do it underneath the jungle gym so the janitor Bob can come throw some sawdust on you. Okay, thanks.
I'm more appalled at the poor quality of the prose on these things.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
buddy. Well, that's the thing. They haven't, I think almost every ghost website that exists on the internet was done prior to like 2004.
They still had grammar back then.
I know,
I
but
learned it in
They ought to
94.
change the website to geoshitties.com.
There we go.
Good team.
This is the last one I got for Ohio, and I honestly just got this because of the name of the road. Kettering, Ohio, and this happened on Swango Drive.
Cool
Lot
name,
of
terrible
rigs
town.
on Swingo.
And I have to read it in this voice on Swango Drive.
Only divorced women live there.
A man committed suicide by hanging himself in a tree in the early 90s. On,
Okay.
Good place to do it.
On foggy nights, you can hear him moaning.
Swingo Drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what I'm
I've been cleaning pools all day.
that honestly would be the
Baby
most
Swingo
terrifying
Divorce
ghost.
Drive.
Just like you're walking around in the woods and there's mist and, you you're like, oh, yeah.
Maybe it wasn't suicide. Maybe it was one of those
Autoerotic
yeah,
asphyxiation.
that gone
Yeah,
wrong.
it's a carotene situation. Welcome to Swango. Ooh,
Nothing
yeah.
turns me on more than nature.
Just playing
Except for
in
nearly dying from asphyxiation.
Just
Only
playing
there was a way to combine the two.
in excess in the background.
Yeah. They called me Willie of the Wisp. Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah, you think his
Swango.
last thought was like, well, this is what they're going to remember. Yeah, you've got a pretty respectable catalog. You've made more than one hit, which is really hard to do. And he's an Australian band. It's like, doesn't matter how bad anyone needed anyone tonight. They're going to be like, NXS, That guy died doing a sex thing alone, too.
He drew and quartered himself. It was crazy. It made no sense.
Once you get that third limb off, it's pretty erotic.
Wow, those are some disappointing entries for Ohio.
No, you didn't like. I liked the Texas Roadhouse. That's always my favorite. Is if it's like a restaurant, particularly a chain restaurant. The ones from Texas last year were literally people like people keep moving the flower pots at Target. You're like, yeah, man.
I saw Jubal Walker's ghost at a Cracker Barrel.
Really quick before we move on
Yes.
from Ohio, I do want to throw this out. Like I said, we have a haunted asylum and a haunted prison. There we have the Ohio State Reformatory, which is in Mansfield, Ohio, which was shut down in 1990 under protest for just like inhumane living conditions.
A prison?
For prisoners.
Weird.
Who knew?
Wow, very ahead of its time.
But there were people who were murdered while incarcerated there. There were a lot of suicides. I actually took a high school tour through it.
Shit.
When I was probably my sophomore year.
Hold on. Was it a scared straight situation where they were like, I will buy you for a pack of crackers, motherfucker?
It was not. They were just like, hey, where should we take this year's sophomore class? Let's go to a haunted prison tour. And it also operates sometimes as like a haunted house situation now.
Fuck, dude. Yes.
But like we just went during the day, and that place is spooky as shit.
It's almost like a lot of bad things happened there.
There were some awful things that happened. It
Bad
housed
vibes.
It housed some notorious some murderers.
I love it when they go through the famous murderers of a
But
prison.
then,
They're like, hey.
but like I said, so in 1990 it was shut down, and since it has been primarily like a tour location. Like there's a preservation society that runs everything. It has also been used in several films, which we found out about on the tour.
Okay.
They shot part of Shawshank Redemption there, part of Tango and Cash, part of Air Force One. The part that we got the most education about, because our tour guide wouldn't stop talking about it, was when the band Godsmack shot a music video for their single "Awake" there.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
like she mentioned Shawshank, one sentence. 20 minutes talking about Godsmack.
She was trying to appeal to the teens. Is what was happening.
She
because
definitely was, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't on board for it.
As
type was Mountain
as a
Dew.
tour guide
Yeah.
who's had to do tours for YouTube stars, we are always 5 years behind what the kids are watching. I feel like, yeah.
100%.
That was like surprise. It was a very contemporary reference, like because this would have been 2000, so it was like right when that album came out,
the height of the smack. Yeah.
So, but yeah, like. And she was like, "They're such nice guys." I was like, "They're not going to take you away from this."
Do you think she
fucked Godsmack? I hope for her sake that she did.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing that's ever happened to her, maybe.
Yeah.
give me
As
a
someone who lives in
t-shirt.
Ohio, one of the only good things that could happen is sleeping with somebody, even if it's Godsmack.
Have you been to the Asylum too?
I have been near it because I'm not that fucking crazy. I used to date a girl that went to Ohio University. There was an asylum.
She stopped that I used to date a girl.
Yeah,
That was the
just
end of the
stop
story.
there. She lived
Well, I
there
used to date a
anyway.
She was a spooky ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna say before I drew and quartered myself.
But yeah, it was the Athens Lunatic Asylum. It's been shut down for years.
I love it.
Because it was founded in the 1800s. And
Right,
people
right.
didn't think about how language might further harm people
in the
with
crazy
mental health
pit.
issues. Oh, you mean the Cuckoo Castle?
The batshit farm.
Yeah.
All
I love
right.
that they call them asylums, like the insane asylum. Where you're like, I need asylum. Everyone out there is entirely too rational and well-adjusted. I need a place where we can like rub shit on the walls and think we're Jesus. Get on in there, buddy. That's asylum.
but 100%, like it's up because Athens is in southern Ohio, which is one of like the only parts of Ohio that actually has distinctive geographical features that aren't just corn everywhere. So it's like kind of mountainous, and it's in the Appalachian stretch. So this asylum, like just right up on the top of a mountain ridge, hence why they called it the Ridges, and it like at night, like it just looks like some House on Haunted Hill shit, and it's terrifying.
That rules.
And the girl I was dating at the time, she was like, "We should go up there on Halloween." I was like, look, that seems cool, but no, not like
Man.
if the sun is not out, you're not getting me anywhere near that fucking.
You
place.
were gonna get a spooky blowy and just fucking reneged on that one.
Yeah, I never heard of a ghost killing anyone, but I've met a few guys that got an old-fashioned at an abandoned building. I'm going with the odds on this.
No, I was like, look, let's go back to your dorm. You got a perfectly unhaunted twin bed there.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
There were actually quite a few on that Shadowlands about haunted shit at Ohio University.
Yeah, I was reading Athens, according to various paranormal societies or what the fuck ever. Like, Athens is apparently one of the most haunted places in the country.
Yeah, well, Ohio State got the good football team, so they got to have something, you know.
Ohio State got an all right football team that the coach has got a lot of shit covered up for.
Yeah. Hey, I'm from Auburn, baby. We got the same issue.